Let's move it again. Let's move it so that the third note of our scale is on an E. So here's my scale in E. Here's my third note. 1, 2, 3. Let's put this on an E. So where's an E on my D string? Right here, 2nd fret D is an E, D sharp E. So let's play the same scale, exactly the same scale shape. So I'm going to start on the 3rd fret A string. So my third note is on an E. So when I drone the E, it sounds Eastern and kind of bizarre. What you've got there is Phrygian. And so, briefly to summarise, I've taken the 3rd note of my E major scale and put that 3rd note on an E, and all the other notes line up to cause an effect which I called Phrygian. Let's do the same thing with the 4th note. Now the 4th note and 3rd note are right next to each other, aren't they? They're literally a semitone apart, so all I've got to do is move this back 1 semitone, and that E note will be under my 4th note of my scale. So here's my scale, 1, 2, 3, 4. This note is going to be on an E. So here's my scale. And if I drone my E, and you have Lydian, one of my favourite modes. This is the bedrock foundation of people like Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Eddie Van Halen. It's a major sounding scale, but the 5th note of its scale is flattened. So you have a flattened 5th and a 5. It kind of sounds really happy, but slightly bizarre and evil. Evil happy, like me. So, so far we've got the major scale, Ionian. We've got Dorian, which is a minor scale. We've got Phrygian, which is like a Spanish kind of minor scale. And we've got Lydian, which is a major scale with a hint of evil. And I would call those modes 1, modes 2, modes 3, modes 4. And let's do mode 5. So we're going to start on the 5th note of our scale. And we're going to put this 5th note on an E and see how it sounds. So here's my 5th note. Let's find an E on the D string at this point. So I've chosen, you can put it anywhere as long as you can find an E. I've chosen the 14th fret on the D string. That's an E. And let's play the scale. So it just sounds like a major scale, because you're hearing that as the root, and we want to hear that as the root. So here's drone and E. So you've got Mixolydian there. Mixolydian is a very heroic sounding, powerful scale. It's major, but the 7th note is flat by 1 step, so it's major but not quite sickly, annoying, happy. It's kind of happy but powerful. Let's do the 6th note of our scale. So here's the 6th note. Let's find an E on our G string to place that. Here's on. So this is the 9th fret G string. And again, let's drone an E. That is the good old-fashioned minor scale. In the land of modes, we call this Aeolian, which means of the wind. The Greeks thought wind was sad. And it's just a traditional natural minor scale. So if you take a major scale and put the sixth note of that major scale on the root and play all the same notes, you're playing a minor scale. Last one, let's do it with our seventh note. This is going to be horrible. So I put the seventh note on the E, and let's play the scale. That's just horrendous, isn't it? Just not very nice. That is Locrian. Locrian is a diminished scale. To be particular, it's a minor 7 flat 5 scale. And no matter what you do, it's going to sound like utter failage. It's just not very nice. Personally, that is. Obviously, to you, it may sound like the best thing since sliced bread. So, what have we done? We've taken one scale shape. I haven't changed the shape whatsoever. I've just moved it up and down the fretboard, putting the root note, the E, at different points within the scale, and I've made every single major scale mode. Now, I recommend that you drone a note, practice this till the cows come home, and pick 2 modes to focus your life on. That's what everybody does. I chose Dorian and Mixolydian, pretty much because that's what Joe Satriani did, and he's a big idol of mine. And really do the same thing. Each one of those modes is as different as blues to the major scale. So one of them will attract you more than the others, and if you focus on that, build licks within it, you know, you'll start to develop your own sort of musical personality, if you will. Imagine that. Right, so there's modes, and this particular way of moving a scale around within the same root note is called pitch axis theory. So you can go and tell your friends now you're studying pitch axis theory and you just played every single major diatonic mode there is with one scale, and they'll be well impressed. Congratulations.